Hey, how's it going, everyone? James Harper here, agencyflare.com. I wanted to take a few minutes here today and go over some sales fundamentals. I think just practicing and getting back into the fundamentals is such a key thing. Whether you're in inside sales, outside sales, it really doesn't matter. I just think it's a wonderful thing to always keep top of mind during the selling process is, are you practicing and are you becoming more and more proficient with sales fundamentals? So today we're going to go over one of the most simple and known strategies in sales, but one that I think gets lost a lot of the times when companies and sales pros are putting together their strategies for the quarter when it comes to their sales campaigns. And that's the know, like, trust strategy. So I'm going to take the next 5-10 minutes here and talk about the importance of the know, like, trust strategy, what exactly that is, a few different ways that you can, a few different new outlooks and ways you can think about the know, like, trust strategy. And I'm even going to give you some actual live company and client examples of conversion rates when you implement fundamental strategies such as this, and what are the actual results that come from a good strategy with the know, like, trust strategy in place. So I'm just going to jump right into it here. As you guys can see, there's 3 boxes on my screen, and I really want to talk about, I'm going to break down each one of these boxes, but I want to talk about the first bullet point here, which is the no box. Obviously, when we're reaching out to people in general, especially in the outbound sales, cold prospecting world, it's critical people have some sort of familiarity or connection with who we are and what we do. This is really where marketing, personal brand holds a lot of weight. Marketing can really meet sales and do a lot of impact in terms of our cold outreach right here. Just having the ability to approach new people and prospects and have them even have the slightest whereabouts of who you are, what your company does, is huge. So they must know who you are. That's pretty simple. I think we can all understand the importance of that. The second point here being the likability factor. As we know in sales, likability is a huge thing. We like to do business with people we like. We trust people we like, which is the next box. Being likable is absolutely critical. Now, a key word I put here is I said kinda. We kinda have to be likable. What do I mean by kinda? It's not make or break. People have to like you, yes, but they don't have to be your best friend, is really what I mean by this. Likability obviously is high on the radar, but you can also just be very informative, be a good colleague, hold great conversation, and establish a likable connection in that way. This doesn't need to be super deep relational likability. This can be just at a high level. You're good to do business with, that type of likability. Establish that connection right off the bat. Now, the last factor here, and this might be the most important factor of the entire strategy, is the trust factor. We all know this, guys. People not only do business with people they like, but we know buyers buy from people they trust almost 100% of the time, guys. So, how are you developing that trust? How are you delivering value right off the bat that's delivering trust? We need to develop that line of trust right away. I think it's so critical, and it's something that we take for granted a lot of the times. Sometimes, just because we're having a conversation with people, I believe the assumptions are made that, hey, they trust us. Let me give you a quick perspective on this. When we're in the outbound sales realm and our objective is to set qualified appointments, we are asking people for time, even if it's just a 15-minute phone call. Do you know the type of trust that goes into that? I'm literally asking someone to trust me with their time, one of the most precious assets to a person. So the fact that we're asking people for time, we're disrupting days in the outbound sales world, we really have to be very purposeful with our messaging, the value we're delivering, and how we're delivering it. So we're developing that line of trust right away. Let's go to slide 2 here. We got 4 simple boxes. This displays the fundamentals for the strategy. And I absolutely love this slide because it's going to give us a different way to think about the know, like, trust strategy. So let me talk about the first box here, which is more in the know category. Obviously, we talked about people have to have some sort of awareness of who we are, what we do, to develop some sort of connection right off the bat. Again, this is really where marketing and personal branding comes in. Full disclosure here, a lot of marketing doesn't always support sales efforts. I think a lot of sales professionals would nod their head and relate to that. A huge thing in today's world is personal brand. What is your personal brand and how is it benefiting your current sales campaign? Do you have any type of awareness around your personal brand? The reason I love the personal brand factor here is because we control it. So if we are consistently creating content, creating a strong, genuine, valuable network, we have control over our personal brand, and in hopes that should be creating some sort of personal awareness for you, which is going to benefit your sales outreach. The second box here, credibility. It's no secret, guys. We know we have to develop a factor of credibility right away when we're talking to someone. But what makes you credible? It's more than just use cases and case studies and numbers, which we're actually going to talk about in this box here. What makes you credible is being genuine. Why do people believe in you? Obviously, we know it's no secret that you have to believe in the service and the product that you're selling. That's a given. But I do believe there's a big lack of belief in sales people themselves when they're speaking to the value that they can give to a prospect. So will people believe in you? Why do you believe in you? Ultimately, people are going to believe in you because you believe in yourself and you're confident what you're selling, what you're serving them can actually be of high value for them. This might be one of my favorite boxes, box 3 here, new solutions. This can be applied literally to anyone in any industry, anywhere. You could be in the most outdated, boring industry out there. I really don't care. I want to talk about how your solutions and how your ideas, this big keyword right here, can truly benefit them. Ideas are the currency of the 21st century, guys. I got that thought from James Altucher, and I believe he's absolutely right. People buy ideas. People connect with ideas, and people start to see a formulated strategy off of new ideas. You could be in a very competitive market and you could be selling the exact same thing as your competitor with a little bit of authentic idea formulation there. You can really separate yourself. It doesn't have to be very innovative, doesn't have to be super extravagant or sexy, but just new, fresh ideas are so critical, guys. I could do a whole topic on that on a different time, but how are you coming up with new ideas or new solutions that will benefit your prospects right off the bat? It'll definitely help you stand out, especially if you have weak awareness like we talk about in box 1. The last one, proof of concept and being human. Let's start with the first bullet there, which is proof of concept. I mentioned earlier case studies, use cases. Those are important. We have to have some sort of proof and confidence and roadmap that we can truly benefit our prospect. This is what's given us the template, and this is where the rubber meets the road on how we know we can absolutely change their world, benefit their lives, increase their business, whatever it is. Now, with that being said, we have to have proof of concept, but we need to be more than numbers. I think we get lost in case studies, data, all too often, and we're not human. We lose that human touch. Definitely be genuine with your approach. Don't just focus on the case study. Don't just focus on the numbers. Bring a new solution to them. Bring some credibility and authenticity to them. And I promise you, if you kind of combine all 4 of these boxes to your know, like, trust strategy, it's just going to be so much more beneficial for you. So yes, case studies, use cases are important, but you have to be more than numbers. You have to be likable. You have to be human. So just keep that in mind. Okay, now the results. Here's kind of my proof of concept, and I'm going to be a lot more human and less robotic here with my approach than a lot of salespeople are. when they're talking about their results. So how do we know the know, like, trust strategy actually works? Well, not only do we try this out for our clients, we've also tried it out for ourselves. And I want to give you just some very compelling statistics for you to consider on why you should be implementing this. So we have 3 categories here. This is the completely cold category. Category 2 is the semi-cold. And category 3 is the warm intro. And I'm going to break down all of these here. The completely cold category netted us 1.5% conversion rate. What do we mean by completely cold? Completely cold is outreach to a prospect that has no idea who we are. They have little, if zero, familiarity on the company reaching out to them or the salesperson reaching out to them, and they literally are complete strangers. Now, granted, that outbound sales campaign had a very personalized approach, had good value proposition, had a unique selling position, the whole 9 yards to any great outbound sales campaign. But what did that net? 150 contacts were reached out to. And in our case, a conversion is a qualified, keyword being qualified, meeting there. We saw a 1.5% conversion rate. So just under 2%, which is what we're always trying to aim for, but the numbers are the numbers. And we saw a 1.5% conversion rate with a completely cold approach. Now, every cold approach varies, but a 1 to 3% conversion rate, I think, can be expected. Now, what happens when you up it to the semi-cold factor here? What do we mean by semi-cold? Semi-cold is a group of prospects that have familiarity with the company or the salesperson reaching out to that pool of prospects. So there's a little bit of the know, like, trust strategy already involved. And when we implement the know, like, trust strategy within our messaging and our outreach campaign, we saw a 5.3% conversion rate, almost 4 times more than the completely cold outreach. So just having a little bit of connection and familiarity with your prospect base goes so far. How much further than just cold outreach? About 4 times further. So we always want to keep that in mind. The last one here, guys, the warm intro. This is exactly where the know, like, trust strategy hits the road. Let's define what we mean by a warm intro here. This is where we can reference something that's going to be of high familiarity or connection to our prospect. For example, if we're reaching out to John and we know his colleague Bob, and Bob has a decent relationship or understanding of what we do, we need to use Bob as our olive branch with the know, like, trust strategy. So I could say, hey, John, I'm reaching out to you because I see you need help with XYZ, and I've heard directly from your colleague Bob that you're currently facing XYZ challenges. It just so happens we could be able to help. We're able to help you with this. I'd like to schedule a quick 15-minute conversation and see if what we do fits with exactly what you're struggling with. I don't know. That's really bad messaging off the cuff here. But nonetheless, when you have a warm intro, you have an olive branch, you have a referral connection you can refer to, it just is immense in terms of results in comparison to the first 2 categories. A 16% conversion rate. I think any sales, any marketing, any consultant guru would tell you 16% with any campaign is absolutely killer. So, guys, this is just a little bit of the know, like, trust strategy. I think it's critical as sales professionals, as companies. We go back to the basics, and here we are. This is something basic, but it's critical. With that being said, I want to just give a quick shout out to everyone who signed up on the agencyflare.com outbound sales newsletter report. Guys, this is a great community that we're slowly building. We're not here to sell you any BS course. We're here just to serve the sales industry because the sales industry has given us so much. So head over to agencyflare.com. Definitely let us know what you think, and let us know what you're struggling with and how we can help you and what content we can make that would interest you. So again, I'm James Harper, agencyflare.com. And yeah, look forward to hearing from you and talking with you next time. Thanks, everyone.